second day of Louisiana bow season, and I smoked a doe. So she was 30 yards broadside, hit her on her right shoulder, got a clean pass through. We'll talk more about that when we get her off the roof and hang her up and do a little talk through about the shot. I'm going to go inside, eat me a celebratory apple crisp, and we'll see you guys in the back. Oh crap, I need to back up. Alright guys, so just got back from the hunt, rolled up. I did not have a lot of faith in tonight. Tonight was more of an observation sit. Some of the spots that we had planned on going earlier in the season got messed up by Hurricane Laura, so I was kind of going on backup plans. So I ended up driving my wife's car, which is the Chevy Traverse, out, and that's what you saw me pull up in with the deer on top of it. So long story short, I was hunting on a cantonment area of Fort Polk. So right now, a issue that I'm trying to work for filming purposes is there's like fine print on whether you can or cannot film hunts on a cantonment area of a military installation due to the operational security of that base. I'm trying to figure that out for you guys. As soon as I do, I'll get a camera out there and we'll get another deer shot. But until then, I'm probably going to hold off on hunting that and try to hunt a couple different areas. But long story short, I ended up hunting in a spot that I've never even scouted before. I kind of just went in, scouted my way in, found some good sign, climbed up in a tree. I was hunting out of a saddle, and about 6:30, a fawn came in and 2 does, and I ended up taking one of the does. So I'm shooting a 391 grain arrow total weight with the broadhead. So I shoot a 100 grain expandable broadhead made by Swhacker. And these things have not done us wrong yet. You can tell right here by all the blood that I got lung shot. I ended up hitting double lung. Yeah, so she came out and she was facing to the right. So this is the entry wound right here. That's where that Swhacker went in at. And you can see it is 100% a 1-inch cut right there. No doubt about it. These little blades right here hit, and then once they hit through there, they open up. You'll see it on the inside. But that right there is 100% 1-inch cut. So one thing to take note of is this deer was 30 yards away. It was kind of alert, and I'm not shooting a crazy bow. I shoot a Matthews solo cam that is 60, set at like a 59, 60 pound draw. And I'm not shooting a super heavy arrow. So just, kind of pay attention. I hit shoulder blade here, ribs on one side, ribs on the other, shoulder blade there. All right, that's a 2-inch cut right there. And it went I don't want to say, a clean pass through, like it went through and stuck in the ground on the backside, but it went through and I mean it still hit the ground. It just didn't stick in like a like hunter's bow would have. Hunter's bow shoots crazy fast, but we do not shoot heavy arrow setups. We don't do it. So I'm just kind of showcasing that Swhacker makes a really good broadhead. All right, and we have nothing to do with Swhacker. Swhacker doesn't pay us. They don't send us free broadheads or nothing. All right, so here, that's the entry. So if you look down on the inside of this, I don't know if you can see that. Right here, that's the entry. Now, if you look, that's more than 1 inch. And what's happening in that shot right there is, I use my hand as a reference for size, is right there, that's when that blade's opening up. So it goes through, hit both lungs, and absolutely destroyed the lungs, by the way. And then cuts through on this backside. So if we look on this side, on the inside, we have that right there is the exit side. That's a 2-inch cut. It hit this rib right here and broke it. This rib is broken right here. But yeah, hit that rib, broke it, and then punched through this shoulder on the backside with a mean cut. Definitely worked like it was supposed to. So at this time, I'm gonna go ahead and skin this thing out, put it on ice, and then deal with it in the morning. Oh, while I have you guys here, another product that we have nothing to do with is this Outdoor Edge knife, and it has these replaceable blades. If you have never seen these and you're a new deer hunter and you're trying to find a good skinning knife, this is what to get, right? Because you know, during the season I get so sick of sharpening blades that you know, this is my go-to knife. I think it's got a 3.5-inch blade, but basically you just hit this silver button right here, blade pops out, bang, you put a new one in, and you're ready to go. And this thing is insanely sharp. Like, try not to mess anything up. Razor sharp, unbelievably sharp. Hunter actually used one of these and cut the tip of his middle finger off last year and got himself 8 stitches. He got his finger back, but he had to get 8 stitches. So yeah, if you guys are looking for a pretty decent knife, these are good to go. Alright, so before I process this all the way out, a couple things I wanted to cover before I drop this deer is one, the deer only made it like 100 yards. It was like 105 yards from Onyx. You can track your steps. So it only made it 105 yards, something like that. And I double lunged it, which I'm surprised it ran as far as it did, but I just wanted to cover that. The other thing I noticed after I was skinning this was the bullet hole looked like, or I'm sorry, the exit wound looked like it came straight out of this shoulder, and that's a knife cut. So here's the entry. Right there's the entry. And you can see how much damage it did in there. And here in a second, I'll go ahead and cut this shoulder off and show you guys what it looks like on the inside. But the exit, here's the exit. So, I mean, and guys, that is directly through the shoulder. All right, it didn't hit this big bone that people talk about hitting, but it went straight through the shoulder. All right, and it made a massive cut. So, like I said in the first part of this video, I don't shoot heavy setups. I just don't feel the need to buy all new arrows, retune my bow, and all that. You know, because people are making this claim for you know, Plan B arrows. If that's you, by all means, go for it. I just want people to know who are first getting into hunting that you do not have to buy a $100 broadhead or, you know, $50 broadheads that have, you know, more, they pack more of a punch when they hit. I'm not shooting a fast bow. I shoot a Matthew Solo Cam with 60-pound draw, and I shoot like 400 grain arrows total weight. So, and that's including the broadhead. But you can see, I mean, I had a clean pass through, and I do not, I mean, look at the damage it did right here. It's just insane. So, let me cut these shoulders off of it, and we'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so I went ahead and cut these shoulders off, and if you want to come over here and look at this. So here's her right shoulder, and that's the entry. And I got it, that's not a gaping wound, but this right here is her entry on the cavity. So the arrow went in right here. So it went in that shoulder, it cut through right here, and you can see all this damage that it did. All this blood and bruising. But so right here is when the arrow punched through this entire shoulder and was in the process of opening right here. So it's not, this right here is not quite 1 inch, but it's not 2 inch cut yet. So you know that Swhacker hasn't fully, what's the word? Hasn't fully opened yet. So deployed is what I was looking for. So the Swhacker hadn't fully deployed right here, but once it broke through into the rib cage, that's when it fully deployed. And I had some questions about the Swhacker's reliability on expanding on rib cages, because to me it just didn't seem feasible that this broadhead would only open when it hit ribs. I was like, there's no way. If you hit a shoulder or a lot of meat like I did, you know, I was convinced that it would be fully deployed before it hit the ribs, but it wasn't. And that, honestly, that's a big shock to me. So you can see right here, this is the exit. And there's no doubt about it, this right here is a 2 inch cut. And you can see all the bruising and clotting and damage that broadhead did whenever it hit right here. And actually, I can feel in, if I can find it, right there. So right up here, because the shot was angled down, she jumped the string and dropped a little bit. That's why the shot came kind of straight through. But at 30 yards, it hit and actually shattered this rib right here. I don't know if I'm going to take the whole carcass apart to show you guys the insides of these rib cages, just because it is warm out here and I don't want any meat going bad in the process. But that kind of wraps it up. So I was just want to show you guys what it looked like once I started butchering, what these holes looked like, entry, exit, entry and exit on the rib cage. That pretty much wraps it up. I appreciate you guys watching the full video. Unfortunately, I didn't get the shot on film. Hopefully I get the next one on film. But either way, I appreciate it. If you guys want to see my processing setup, which is super cheap, I don't go all out on anything. So, you know, my processing is cheap. I don't take anything to the processor. I do it all myself. If you guys want to see that, drop it in the comments, and I'll do a video on all my processing stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching.